Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how I make my recycled paper log briquettes and some of the tips and tricks I've learned along the way. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a grinder out of a saw blade with threaded rod, a couple of nuts, taking your junk mail, statements, paper products, whatever you have, and turning it into briquettes to heat your house with. I'm going to take this 7 1/4 inch circular saw blade and bend over the ears so we get more of a blender effect when we're using it to make the paper pulp. Hopefully doing it like that, we'll get a little bit more of the blender effect. Now I've got a 1/2 inch piece of threaded rod. It's 3 feet long. I'm going to cut it in half to make it 18 inches. Now if you don't have a grinder, you could use a hacksaw blade. I got a grinder, it's a little bit quicker. Now you're going to need 2 1/2 inch washers and 2 1/2 inch nuts. Put one nut on the bottom, then your washer, then your skill saw blade. I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on it. Next you're going to need 2 5-gallon buckets, a drill, and a 3/16 drill bit. I'm going to drill holes in one bucket no further than up to the bottom of this ridge, preferably an inch or so down. The other 5-gallon bucket, you don't drill any holes in it, but you do want to make sure that they do fit inside of it. Then you're going to want 2 of these 12-inch mud plastering pans. You can get 16 or 18. They make them in all different sizes. I did 12. A lot of people use the bottom of the buckets, 5-gallon buckets, to make these briquettes, and they're kind of big. So I was thinking that if we did them out of a 12-inch pan, it'd be more like a log, and they'd burn a lot nicer. So we're going to go ahead and drill the bottom and all 4 sides on this, and you'll see why a little later on at the end of the video. Just brush off the burrs after, inside and out. The top one will be for pressing. The bottom one will be the mold. Then you're going to have your 2 buckets. The one with the holes is inside, the one without. All your junk paper you get from the mail, junk mail, credit card bills, any confidential stuff you don't want to have to worry about shredding or people finding them. Just rip them up, rip the stuff in half, quarter it up, throw it in the bucket. Rip it up a little bit. Cardboard, same thing. But every week you just set aside and save your paper, throw it in the bucket, put it right in the bucket when you get it. Then you're going to add water to the mixture. Probably going to want to let it sit overnight and get broken down some. Once you know it's good and shredded, now you're going to lift the inner bucket out of the outer one. You can set aside and save your water for later on. If you have this inside of a tote, you can press out some of the water by putting the other bucket back on top now. Now that we got some of the water out, This is why we use the tote, so we can recycle the water and use it again next time. Once you got it all shredded nice, mix it over to the 12-inch pans. Trying to squish out as much water as you can. The more water you get out, the better compact it'll be, and the quicker it'll dry. Then you just take your mold, flip it upside down, give it a good few whacks. And there you have it, a nice recycled paper briquette. So with minimal effort and about a week's worth of a household of threes, junk mail, boxes from our food, and school papers, I used saw blade, piece of threaded rod, 2 nuts, 2 washers, 3 5-gallon buckets we'll say, a tote, and 2 plastering pans. So for me, this is a much better way to deal with the junk mail and waste paper you have every week at the end of the week. I just shred it up, grind it up, pack it down, and make it into a mold. The more water you squeeze out, the quicker they'll dry, and the tighter you can compact it, the longer they will burn. So if you want a good log for burning, pack it harder. If you're looking for just a fire starter, you don't have to worry about doing it too hard. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for future videos. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below.